want to go live to Canada, where Mark Carney is being sworn in as Prime Minister. Let's listen in.
Roi de Canada, à ses héritiers et successeurs. I, Mark Carney, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty, King Charles III, King of Canada, his heirs and successors. I, Mark Carney, do solemnly and sincerely swear that I shall be a true and faithful servant to His Majesty King Charles III as a member of His Majesty's Privy Council for Canada. I will, in all things, to be treated, debated, and resolved in Privy Council, faithfully, honestly, and truly declare my mind and my opinion. I shall keep secret all matters committed and revealed to me in this capacity, or that shall be secretly treated of in council. Generally, in all things I shall do as a faithful and true servant ought to do for His Majesty. I, Mark Carney, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will truly and faithfully, and to the best of my skill and knowledge, execute the powers and trust reposed in me as Prime Minister.
You've talked about Trump needing to show Canada respect.
President Trump.
President Trump needing to show Canada respect. You said that again just now. Are you not going to speak with President Trump until he cuts out this 51st state talk?
No. I look forward to speaking with President Trump, just to be clear. We respect the United States. We respect President Trump. President Trump has put some very important issues at the top of his agenda. We understand his agenda. We understand the importance of addressing the scourge of fentanyl, which is a challenge here in Canada as well as the United States. And I would say that the measures that have been put in place in recent weeks in Canada and Mexico, also the United States, means that we are making tremendous progress. I'll speak specifically for against fentanyl. We understand the importance President Trump places on American workers and American jobs. We want him and his administration to understand the importance we put on Canadian workers and Canadian jobs. And we will look for avenues to work together so that both objectives are met in terms of both our great economies, just as we are doing, and the people behind me have led this, just as we are doing with respect to the scourge of fentanyl.
Canada has officially sworn in a new prime minister. Mark Carney, a central banker turned politician, took his oath earlier today after the resignation of Canada's longtime leader, Justin Trudeau. Trudeau, who spent more than 9 years as prime minister, bid farewell and thanked Canadians on X, calling them the best country and the best people on earth. CNN's Paula Newton is here with more on this. So, Paula, Carney's background is in finance. It's not in politics, much like Trump's when he first became U.S. president. What kind of leader is he expected to be, and how can he handle this current trade crisis?
Well, I think in certain levels, in terms of style, much differently than Justin Trudeau. I think right down to the dark blue suit and the gray tie that he wore today to be sworn in, Brianna, there really was a contrast. This is an economist. He is a serious man. He did, I will say, go out of his way to point out the similarities with Donald Trump, that he has cut big deals in real estate and that he did have some ties to the Trump administration in its first instance. I want you to listen now, though, to something that irks him and irks so many Canadians about the fact that the president continues to talk about the 51st state, and he explains why that will never happen. Listen.
I've been clear, personally I've been clear, the ministers behind me, I think to an individual, when asked, have been clear that we will never, ever, in any way, shape, or form, be part of the United States. America is not Canada. Look at the ceremony we just had. You could not have had that ceremony. You would not have that ceremony in America. Look at the cabinet behind me. You would not have that cabinet in America. You do not have that cabinet in America. We are a very fundamentally different country.
Yeah, Brianna, before that, he actually said the words in terms of Canada becoming the 51st state. It's crazy. His point is crazy. That's it. Now, part of this is obviously due to the fact that we are likely to be in an election campaign in Canada within the next few days. And this is really him standing up for nationalism, something that is definitely popular in Canada right now. But Brianna, you'll forgive the entire election campaign because some days it will seem as if everyone is campaigning against US President Donald Trump and not against each other, the politicians that will be running within just a few days.
Yeah, that's certainly the case. So he is now the first unelected prime minister in more than 40 years. That means he's not technically a part of parliament. For those who are not intimately familiar with the Canadian political process, how does that impact his duties and how he can carry them out as prime minister?
It doesn't affect his duties at all, but we always revolve around this word mandate. What does mandate mean? It means you want the people to elect you so that you have the full power, the full backing of the Canadian people. And whether you're in the Oval Office or anywhere else, you go there knowing that Canadians elected you. And that's why we will likely have an election campaign in Canada in the next few days. As I said, his style completely different. We did notice in the press conference, and he has been this way before. He can get a bit brittle and a bit short with questions. It'll be interesting to see how he campaigns and the pivot that he does make. As you said, from being a rookie politician, he is going to have to study up pretty quickly.
Yeah, can't be brittle in politics. Paula Newton, thank you so much for that report.